what you love with people that you love. This is how to love. Mystic said, what you do. What is some time to find out your purpose? Everything you want in life is, and there will be hills that will eventually fail our way to success. And there and wrong with that. But you got to start somewhere. A long time ago, I wrote my own, what I call rules for life. I'm not saying they are the rules for life. I'm just saying there are my rules for life as a serial entrepreneur. And the number one rule for my as a beginning, and yes, I have in fact at 75 years old failed, understood deeply Roman leader, Marcus Aurelius, quotes outside of the Bible. Marcus Aurelius, one of the 5 great Caesars. And it was Marcus Aurelius who said that the impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. Let me repeat that for you. The impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. And patience here is a virtue. Now, I'm not just saying this out of off the top of my head. No. There was a major study done in 2018 by the New England Journal of Medicine. It was a national study on the 3 most productive periods of your life. And the study found that the third most productive period of your life was between 50 and 60. The second most productive period of your life was between 70 and 80. And the number one most productive period of your life was between 60 and 70. Think about that, between 60 and 70. The average age of a Nobel Prize winner is 62. The average age of a CEO of a Fortune 500 company is 63. The average age of pastors of the 100 largest churches in America is 71. Moses got his assignment from God at 80 years old. The average age of a pope is 76. Mandela became president of South Africa at 76. Gandhi secured India's independence at 61. Ray Kroc founded McDonald's at close to 60. Toni Morrison received her Pulitzer Prize for Beloved at nearly 60, at 57. She got her Nobel Prize at 62. And Frank Lloyd Wright, the great iconic architect, built his magnum opus, the Guggenheim Museum on 54th Street and 5th Avenue. I watched it being built as I was growing up, running the streets of New York. He finished his magnum opus at 91. Your best years are ahead of you. This tells me that God has designed that the best years of your life are between 60 and 80. This is when you do your best work. This study by the New England Journal of Medicine found that at 60, you reach your peak of potential and it continues up to 80. What am I saying to you? If you're between 0 and 49, you ain't done nothing yet. You're really just figuring out how to succeed. I think a great example of that is Elon Musk. At 22, he and his brother created PayPal. That was innovative at that time in social media. It was a way to pay for certain things electronically. But ultimately, he was fired as one of the co-founders of PayPal. But it did not deter him. He went on to create Tesla, a major contribution to electric car transportation. And then he went on to find SpaceX, sort of an independent rocket launching company that got its business and contracts from the federal government. Elon Musk is closer to 50 than he is 49. He'll be 50 in June. A couple of months ago, Elon Musk, it was announced to the world that he is now the richest man in the world. After numerous tepid efforts at entrepreneurship, then finding PayPal, losing PayPal, and then coming up with Tesla and SpaceX. At 50, he is now the richest man in the world. He has more money, he's worth more money than Jeff Bezos. So this takes time. It's okay. Just be patient, but be determined and be consistent. Understand that there's numerous opportunities that we as people of color can engage in. I don't know if we need another beauty salon unless you're going to open up a franchise of 100 new beauty salons. I don't know if we need another barbershop. I don't know if we need another barbecue joint. I don't know if we need another t-shirt company. There are tremendous opportunities out here that we can engage in if we effectively network, leverage more effectively our collective resources and intellectual capital, and find the right people to be around us. I've said it a million times. Introduce me to your 5 closest friends, and that will tell me who you are. As you know, and as you go, right? That's how you go. That's where you're going to go. If you're hanging out with 5 poor people, eventually you're going to be the 6th poor person. Your network is critically important for your success. Make no mistake about that. The people you associate with will determine your trajectory in life. Let me say that differently. Don't spend major time with minor people. People going nowhere want you to go nowhere with them. People doing nothing want you to do nothing with them. If you want to change your life, change your relationships. If you are not where you want to be in life, it's because you don't have the right people around you in life. If your business is failing, it's because you don't have the right people in your business. You don't build businesses. You build people. And people build businesses. Don't get it twisted. People build businesses. What are some of the entrepreneurial opportunities that are significant in the 21st century? What are some of the things that we can engage in? It will take the right partners. It will take the right subject matter experts to surround yourself with. But these are opportunities that everyone is taking advantage of. They're the emerging industries for the 21st century, and we need to look at these industries seriously. First, there's the cannabis industry. Multi-millions of dollars will be made in legalized marijuana. Within the next decade, every country in America will have legalized medicinal marijuana and recreational marijuana. Let us not make the same mistake that my generation made when it came to liquor stores. In the urban communities back in the day, there was a liquor store and a church on every block. The problem was that we didn't own the liquor stores. We just drank the liquor. So we were the consumers and they were the merchants. Let us not own the cannabis stores that will be in every urban center, in every city in America, certainly within the next decade. Not only is there a retail opportunity to sell cannabis, but there is a manufacturing opportunity to sell cannabis, because as the demand grows, as the distribution and the ease of access of this product grows, they will need product. Just as we need more vaccines right now, because there's a huge demand for more vaccines. And the thing that's holding us up from getting vaccines is the supply. So the cannabis industry will need supply. So there's opportunity in every state to, in fact, farm or to manufacture cannabis. Cannabis is a huge industry. It will be $50 billion in the next decade or so. What is another opportunity? Financial technology. You know, everything in the financial world, where's it going? Right here. What is one of the biggest booms in technology now? It's crypto. Where is this global dollar? Where is it going? Where is this new money going? And how do you access it? And how do you move it around? It's all on the phone. No, you don't go to your local branch bank, at least not now. So the whole notion of designing software and designing applications in the financial sphere for use on your either laptop, but most importantly, on your cell phone, is in the area of financial technology. And you've seen these new apps come aboard. There are at least 30 new apps on how to manage your crypto that you could just download right on your phone or download right on your computer. So financial technology, for those of you who are technology bent, who are creative in creating the kind of software and algorithms and designs necessary to make financial transactions easier, it's a wonderful niche space to get into. It's called fintech. What's another opportunity? Blockchain, mining blockchain. That's what blockchain is. It's really the mining aspect of cryptocurrency. The computers that are necessary to mine and to make available and to manage and to move around cryptocurrencies, and there are over 5,000 cryptocurrencies, is very technical, requires a tremendous amount of computing power. And that computing power is being divided up globally among networks of computers. And so you can become a miner in the crypto space. It's not going away. It's about 12 to 13 years old. All right. It's going to have a long, healthy future. We don't know about regulations, but right now it's the Wild Wild West. So not only can you invest in crypto, that's a good thing. I'm invested in crypto. I'm invested in Bitcoin. I'm invested in Ethereum. I am also invested in Tron. I have multiple streams of income from the crypto space. My good friend Michael Roberts is in the blockchain business. If you go to his beautiful home in St. Louis and you go down to his lower level, it's full of computers doing the mining, and you get paid transaction fees for mining. So that's a huge opportunity as well. Big data analytics is another opportunity. Boy, the data that these electronic devices are collecting, analyzing, right? Looking at buying trends, looking at your habits, right? There are people that are managing this data. This is why things pop up on your cell phone and computer about something that you inquired about, and the next thing you know, there's an ad on exactly the same thing that you were inquiring about. That's all the manipulation and management of the massive amounts of data that is being generated. So if you are technology bent, that's a huge area of opportunity. There's a huge opportunity in robotics. I don't mean necessarily building robots, but how about maintaining robots, fixing robots? Just like there's a massive industry in auto supplies, auto repair, auto body shops, auto transmission shops. Well, I don't have to tell you that manufacturing is moving towards robotics. Become a repair shop, have a series of repair shop or franchise of repairing all kinds of robots. The same thing, there's a huge opportunity in the electric car industry, not necessarily to make electric cars unless you got it like that, but to repair them. Huge opportunity. And General Motors made an announcement not long ago that within the next decade or so, all of their cars will be electric cars. In fact, the 8 and 6 and 12 piston engines will be out of business. So there's a huge opportunity there. I think another opportunity that you need to look into, and I know several brothers and sisters who are doing this, but they're going to make a killing, and that's online learning. And of course, that has been normalized since the pandemic, where our children now have to figure out how to learn their daily lessons online. And when the pandemic goes away, online learning is not going away. 90% of the things I want to learn, right? Even at 75 years old, I'm still investing in myself, I'm still learning, is online. Anything I want to learn, I can either get it free or pay for it online. That's a massive, massive market. The most common demonstration of that market, the most common or most popular execution in that space is masterclasses. They're advertised all over the internet, all over television. A subject matter expertise is paid a fee, and in 15-minute segments, you purchase one of the master classes. It comes to you in 15-minute segments, and they give you their bottom line expertise in whatever it is that it may be. Certainly a Black version of that is needed. It's not that there aren't Black people in the masterclass series, there are. But there's so many subject matter expertise of people of color that certainly a niche version of that could be highly profitable. So there's tremendous opportunity. Now, the question you may be asking me is, how do I start with building a business? The way I did it is I found a way to build my passive income, because for 20 years, my generation spoke into its children as my parents' generation spoke into us to get a good education and get a good job. So that was the goal, and that was the desire of my generation as the baby boomer. I'm the oldest of baby boomers. I'm 75. The youngest of baby boomers is 55. That's what we were taught: get a good education and get a good job. We had very few models in our community who were self-employed entrepreneurs other than barbershops and beauty salons, and there were few owning small convenience stores and grocery stores. So our aspiration was to get a good education and get a good job. And so I ended up doing that, spending 20 years in leadership positions with Procter & Gamble, United Way, and the Ford Motor Company, where I certainly learned at the feet of masters. But that's not what I've taught my two sons. I've taught them to get a good education and create a job, right? We must create jobs and work for our people. We cannot continue for the next 100 years begging white folks to employ us. We have to find a way to do a significant portion of that ourselves. Now, you can begin, as I was working with Procter & Gamble and United Way and Ford Motor Company, I always had side hustles. Right? Now, we understand, Black people, I don't have to explain to you what a side hustle is. I always had another little extra stream of income. On one of my full-time jobs, I was selling Encyclopedia Britannica on the side that paid very well at night. So I had all kinds of side hustles. And I used my side hustle money, or I used my job money to fuel my side hustle. So whatever I needed in startup costs for the side hustle, whether it was extra gas, um, extra clerical or administrative things I needed to do, get some help to do some of the paperwork and some in my side hustle. So I used the income from my job to fuel my side hustle. Then I took my side hustle money and that fueled my investments, right? So I was investing in the stock market, mutual funds, and other things that I got good advice on. I didn't make those decisions myself. I had a brother who was an expert in financial management, and he was a certified financial consultant, and he gave me advice on what stocks to invest in. So I made those investments. Those investments paid off, and then I used those investments to replace my 9 to 5. And what was one of those investments? My first business, my first major business, was a small company called Black Educational Development. This was in the late 60s. So I was the first person in the state of Ohio to sell Black history materials to colleges and libraries. The International Library of Negro Life and History, a 10-volume set. I learned how to sell encyclopedias. These were Black encyclopedias in my years that I was doing some side hustling with Encyclopedia Britannica. All right. And then I ultimately opened my own business selling Black history materials, the Negro Almanac produced by Johnson Publishing in combination with the International Library of Negro Life and History. And I made a fortune. I did some retail selling door to door, not me. I trained others how to do it. They did it. I leveraged my hands and showed other people how to use their mind and hands doing it. I got a small piece of the action. They made the major piece of the action. This is how you're going to grow your income, right? So it was called Black Educational Development. That was my first venture into business and did very, very well. But I used my my side hustle and my 9 to 5 to help fuel my investments, not only stocks and bonds and mutual funds, but finding a niche that nobody was filling at that time, right? And built a business around that niche. So what niches are there that you know at this moment in time, right, that you can use, right, to begin your business? Now, you got to go back to what I said earlier. What gives you the greatest fulfillment, the greatest joy, and the greatest satisfaction? In there is your purpose. And within your purpose, there is a way to extract that purpose, to understand what it is, the thing that you love, and to monetize it and to convert it into a business. I loved reading. I still love it. I loved education. So it was no surprise that the first real business I opened was a business that was about reading and education. I just loved it. And I could speak with it out of personal experience and passion. And people felt the fire when I presented to them reading material about our own people. Or Encyclopedia Britannica, which was the Rolls Royce of encyclopedias. There was no such thing as the internet or Google. And people would use reference material in their home, people who had some money. So I loved selling it. I loved talking about it. And I made a lot of money doing it, right? So there's a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. It is not too late. Remember, you're going to do your best work between 50 and 80, and your top work between 60 and 80. If you're 0 to 49, This is the time to get ready. This is the time to prepare. Now, you may have already had some successes and you may have already had some failures, but you ain't seen nothing yet. The best stuff is in front of you because now you have acquired the kind of information and knowledge necessary for you to really monetize and to do your best work. My advice to you is don't quit your job. This is advice. This is the advice that I took from myself. Okay. I took my own advice and it made a lot of sense. Don't quit your job until you have enough money flowing from your side hustle to cover at least 2 times your average monthly earnings. That's number one. Secondly, don't quit your job until you have an emergency fund, brothers and sisters, to cover at least 12 months of expenses. Do a little small business plan, figure out what the outgo and the income is, what is the cost of starting your business, right? How much you're going to have to put in, how much you're going to estimate, or you're going to estimate how much you're going to earn each month. But you need at least 2 times, or at least 12 months, I should say, 12 months of what you experience as, or you estimate as your experiences, or your expenses. The third thing, don't quit your job until you have the required knowledge or education or experience to excel in your side hustle and ultimately make a good living out of it. Continue to learn. Learn on other people's dime if you have to. In fact, that's how I got the expertise to basically start my businesses. I was learning for almost 20 years at the feet of masters, Procter & Gamble, the beast of branding. United Way, the Rolls Royce of nonprofit fundraising, right? So this is where I learned, right? And then I made my second advance and second entree into entrepreneurship. And that was in 1987. I was about 42 years old. And that's when I started FraserNet. And I started teaching the idea of networking. I thought it was so important. Now, my first opportunity, or not my first, but my second opportunity was to be with the Ford Motor Company. They recruited 12 African-American men to go through their minority dealer development program. This is back in 1985. And I was one of those people, and I was to be the first Black Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer in the greater Cleveland area. I decided I did not want to sell cars. It would have made me wealthy, but I was just more in tune with trying to help my brothers and sisters understand about the power and importance of the relationships in our lives, to teach them effective networking. I had some demonstrated expertise in that area. I had planned on writing a book, so I started that business by putting on networking events in Cleveland, Ohio, local. You succeed locally and then you expand nationally. And then I had a system. I had designed a system that I could easily teach people how to effectively network. Let me say that differently. If you don't have a system, you don't have a business. I don't know what the hell you have, but you don't have a business. A system is something that you can teach, replicate, duplicate, and scale. So I worked on my system for networking, practiced it, preached it, taught it in Cleveland. Every month we would have a networking event at a party center. We would bring in a nationally known speaker. I was not a nationally known speaker at the time, but I gave a young man an opportunity from Columbus, Ohio. He was the first speaker of the first Success Net event in Cleveland, Ohio. We had 500 people showed up to learn how to network, but I wasn't the attraction. This young man who was just getting started in the speaker field was the attraction. His name was Les Brown. Yes, Les and I were good friends. He was a state representative, but before that, he was a disc jockey. He had a wonderful voice, comported himself incredibly. I said, listen, I'm doing this event. Will you come up from Columbus to Cleveland and be the keynote speaker? And that was one of the first major speaking jobs by Les Brown. So these are some of the things that you need to think about before you quit your job. Do you have the required experience in your side hustle to make a good living at it? The last two things you want to think about before you quit your job is don't treat this as sort of a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to get rich quick. I don't know of any long-term sustained entrepreneur that has gotten rich quick. Everything begins as a seed. Everything begins small. That's how God has designed the system. You plant that seed, you fertilize that seed, you water that seed, you nurture that seed, you give it time, and then the seed flowers and bears fruit in great abundance. So entrepreneurship, generally speaking, is not get rich quick. Even if you get a franchise, they will tell you, as a franchise owner, you're still going to have to build up your customer base. You're still going to learn how to do your business with excellence and efficiency. And finally, don't quit your job until you understand that you will be working 14 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day. That's why you have to love it. If you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. You're going to get bored. You're going to get tired of saying the same things over, doing the same things over and over again. So you got to love it. Don't do it unless you love it. And if you, and this is why you've got to do it for a while. And then think, can I do this for the rest of my life? And can I do this in a way that I can innovate and improve on it, in a way that I can build it, in a way that I can attract other people to work within this with me? Because you cannot do it by yourself. So these are some serious, what I call dark closet inventory moments that you're going to have to make. Can I do this for the rest of my life if I have to? Or can I do this industry, or can I work in this category of business and grow it? There are 3 steps that you're going to have to personally take. This is what I had to do to grow your business, to grow your ideas. 3 things you're going to have to think about. You're going to think about this in the quiet of your own mind. Write this down. What is the 3-step test? First, there is what is called the known knowns. What do you know that you know about what you want to do? Write it down. What have you learned? What have you trained for? What is it that you know about this idea or business that you want to go into? The second step are the known unknowns. What do you know that you don't know? What is it that you've taken inventory of your knowledge base? You know that there's certain things that you need to know that you will have to acquire, you'll have to invest in, you'll have to take some time. Do you know what they are? The known unknowns. What don't you know? I'm sorry, what do you know that you don't know? And then the third step is the unknown unknowns. And that is, what don't you know that you don't know? Well, that requires deep thinking. What don't you know that you don't know? This is where the surprises are going to come in. But at least you have to think about it. What's the solution to that 3-step equation, if you will, the known knowns, the known unknowns, and the unknown unknowns. Think deeply about it. Do the research. Tap into people who are in this category of business that you want to get involved in. Even if you have to beg for a job, if you want to open up a restaurant, if that's what you decide to do, work in a restaurant. Even if you have to wash dishes, even if you have to beg for a job, even if you have to work for minimum wage, work in the restaurant. I wanted to sell knowledge. I've been selling knowledge now for over 50 years. So I wanted to work in industries and businesses that was selling and retailing knowledge, whether it was encyclopedias, whether it was workshops, seminars, putting on my own. That's how I understood how to do it better incrementally. So do the research. First, think deeply about the answer to those 3 questions. Do the research. Anything you want to know, you can find on Google, right? And then apply the lessons. And there will be no way that you can fail. Okay. Now, here is some simple marketing tips. Use your money and your wits and your talent and your creativity and your ability to innovate to create exceptional products. If you create exceptional products, you don't need to spend that much on advertising. It's just like if you're exceptional. And by the way, if you're an African American watching this, you have to be exceptional. We cannot be mediocre. Only they can be mediocre. We have to be twice as good to get half as much. Our parents told me this, and your parents told you this years ago. Yes, we're going to have to be twice as good to get half as much, because if you're Black and mediocre in America, you better leave. You're going to be marginalized and you're ultimately going to be destroyed. As I said earlier, either you are remarkable or you are invisible. Create exceptional products, provide exceptional service. Understand that people don't buy goods and services, so to speak. What they buy are relationships. They buy great stories on why you do what you do, and they buy the magic that you make for their life. That's what they buy. And that's how you have to frame what you do, right? What's the magic? How do you solve a problem? That's what people buy. So said another way, don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. That's what I did with FraserNet. That's what I did with Black Educational Development. Black folks didn't have Black history materials in their library in the late 60s, early 70s. There was none. When it did come out, I said, I think Black people, progressive Black people, woke Black people, will want right alongside of their World Book Encyclopedia or Encyclopedia Britannica, they would want an encyclopedia of Black history and an almanac on Black history. No one was saying that and no one was doing that. So I didn't create the product. I got access to the product and exclusive rights for the product in the state of Ohio, and developed a company and a product that wasn't currently in the homes of Black people, most Black people, and made it available to them. And that's why that business exploded, right? So find products for your customers. Don't find customers for your products. Innovate. Advertising is important, but it's less important than innovation. As the old saying goes, change your products and not your ad. If for some reason your ads aren't working, right? It's not your ads, it's your product. So these are the kinds of things that we have to wrap our minds around. These are the kinds of things that we must do if we're going to grow our businesses. Now, we're some of the most creative and innovative people on the planet, right? There is no one more creative than Black people. We have made a way out of no way. We have created something out of nothing. This whole entrepreneurial mystery should not be a mystery to us. We have a history of entrepreneurship. We were actually outperforming in the entrepreneurial sphere in the early 20s to much greater extent than white folks. When white folks would insure us and they wouldn't bank us, they wouldn't allow us to eat in their restaurants, shop in their stores. We created our own little communities, or Wall Streets, if you will. White folks got so jealous of that they burned them down wherever they could. So I know we can do this. Perhaps we have gotten a bit mentally lazy, but that has to change. And that's one of the reasons we put so much emphasis on putting on a conference every year called the Power Networking Conference that speaks to only two things. We're now in our 20th year. 20th year. Anytime you can put on a conference of 1,500 or more Black people, and you can do it 20 years in a row, and then be awarded by Forbes magazine as one of the top 5 conferences not to be missed for entrepreneurs in America, not one of the top 5 Black conferences, but one of the top 5 of all conferences, you're doing something. Join us in this conference. What you're going to do is you're going to make new friends at this conference. You're going to have new feelings. You're going to build networks that will provide you a green path to Black wealth. You'll make new connections. You'll find new business resources. You'll be around people that think like you, who freely share their ideas, who in fact want to help you. There's a myriad of the best speakers in the business and wealth space in America. This year, we do it virtually because we can't meet live in July. No, 1,500 people, Black people, in a hotel ballroom, they won't be feeling that. Not by July. Maybe by July of next year, and we'll go back to live. But this year, we'll do an extraordinary virtual conference, just as we did last year in October. Award-winning, next level, it'll feel like live virtual conference. Some of our speakers, August the 11th through the 14th, Boyce Watkins, Soledad O'Brien, Yala Van Zandt, Stacey Abrams, Yala Van Zandt, Steve Harvey, Teddy Riley, Sean Puffy Combs, and Dr. Randall Pinkett, Trevor Otts, Shay Brown, Dr. George Fraser, Delano Johnson, Constant Carter, Cheryl Wood. It goes on and on and on. 60 speakers, 4 full days from noon to 6:30, all virtual. Join us. Again, make new friends and get some new feelings. Leave your fears and your frustrations and your old worn out paths behind. This is where we come together so we can love on each other, learn from each other, grow, build our businesses, mitigate the devastation on the 40 to 50% of Black-owned businesses that will not survive this pandemic. Think of new ideas. Utilize the resources of all of our people, connect the dots so that we can leverage those resources. It's like nothing you've experienced before. I want to invite you to the Virtual Power Networking Conference, our 20th anniversary. Yes, this is our 20th anniversary. It's August the 11th through the 14th. For those of you watching, let me make a special offer to you. We're going to have our live conference next year. It'll be in July in Houston. We're going to have our virtual conference this year. If you'd like to go to the live conference in 2022 and the virtual conference, August the 11th through the 14th, the virtual conference by itself is $297 for 4 incredible days. The live conference next year is 4 incredible days. And one adult registration is $1,500. And one student registration is $800. And we encourage you to bring a student, to bring a young person, so that they can sit at the feet of masters and see 1,500 people who are engaged in business development and business ownership, and who are loving and giving and serving and adding value to each other's lives. We want our children to be exposed to that. Why? Because everything we do for our children, just as everything our parents did, they did for us. So, an adult registration for the next year's live in 2022 is $1,500. A student is $800. So, the live with a student and a parent or an adult is $2,300. The virtual right now in August is $300 in round numbers. That's $2,600 for those two things, the live in 2022 and the virtual in August. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you both of them for $599. That is a discount of $2,000. Yes, both the live next year and the virtual this year, which you would normally have to pay $2,600, you get for $599. Now, the only way you can get that, now you can go to the powernetworkconference.com website and read all about this incredible conference coming up, the virtual coming up in August, but you cannot get this offer on the website. You have to get it through me. So if you're interested, you have to email me at gfraser, F-R-A-S as in Sam, E-R, gfraser at frasernet.com, gfraser at frasernet.com. In the subject line, put I'm in, and in the body of the email, just put your full name and your cell phone number, your full name and your cell phone number, your full name and your cell phone number, and send that to me. And I will personally call you. We will chat, and we will handle all business over the phone by credit card. That is the special offer. I am thankful to Trevor Otts and the whole BlackCEO movement and the incredible work that Trevor and his team has done in bringing us to a fuller understanding of how important it is for us to become Black CEOs and to develop our businesses. I cannot think of anything more important than that. This is why I agreed to do this. This is why I will continue to support the Black CEO movement and the Black excellence movement and entrepreneurial movement for as long as I live. As long as I can talk, as long as I can write, as long as I can contribute, as long as I can add value to you, give you some elderly advice, some guidance, I'm going to do that. This is Dr. Fraser saying, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Start a business, build a business, grow a business, be about business. Thank you.
All right. By the way, everybody go into the group right now, post your number one takeaway. Go ahead, post your number one takeaway. Whatever your number one takeaway was, go ahead, post it. We got a couple other things that we got to handle. We got a couple other little small things that we got to handle, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get over to, some of y'all going to get the chance to meet George in the speed networking, so I'm going to go ahead and make this quick. All right, here's what's going to happen. I want to make sure everybody knows what's going to happen, right? Because there are a couple of small things that we just need to get done first, okay? All right, so first things first. First, put your number one takeaway, because I want to make sure y'all get a chance. George has already gone over to the speed networking side, so I just want to make sure to get that taken care of. All right, here's what's going to happen. First, we're going to be doing secret sessions like this all throughout the year. My goal is to try to do one secret session every week or every other week. If you like being a part of those type of sessions, you need to go to www.joinblackceo.com. So let's just get that covered. www.joinblackceo.com. You need to manually type that into your browser. So www.joinblackceo.com. We're going to be, if the membership is free, you know, if you decide you want to add on some other things, that's fine. But the membership, basic membership is free. Make sure you get your membership. www.joinblackceo.com. Make sure you type it into your browser as opposed to just clicking on it. All right, that's number one. Number two, everybody keeps calling us about the Black CEO t-shirt. We just got a new batch in from the designer. They are custom t-shirts. They are premium t-shirts. You can go to www.blackceotshirts.com. 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 Now, there are those of you who are watching live. Like, we are syndicated to over now, I think, officially now 673 different locations and Facebook profiles. So it's a lot of syndication going on here. If you want to be a part of the networking session that's getting ready to start now, virtual speed networking. Literally, you're going to meet a new person every 5 minutes. All you got to do is come on over, join the rest of the crew. This is where we are. This is where the real Black CEOs are. This is where the money makers are. This is where the people that take over the world are. By the way, clap it up if y'all one of those thought leaders, those people that's taking over the world. You can just come on over to BlackCEOAfterDark.com. If you're watching on Facebook, come on over to BlackCEOAfterDark.com. BlackCEOAfterDark.com, because what's getting ready to happen next is going to be absolutely amazing. Last two things. Those of you who have enjoyed our graphics, you said, Trevor, I love them graphics. I love the graphics. I love the pages. I love everything. Those were done by the Black CEO Graphics Club. They have a special. It's $1 for 1 week. So everybody can be getting free graphics for the next 7 days. Build your page. Build your squeeze page, your landing page, your website. Get your logo, your t-shirt, your book cover, whatever. Go to www.blackceographics.com. Somebody type that into the group, because I'm just kind of running through this real quick because we got to get over to the networking. www.blackceographicsclub.com. That's who does our PowerPoints. That's who built the pages. That's who did that. Facebook ads, the book covers, the t-shirts. All that came out of the BlackCEOGraphicsClub.com. They got a $1 special. Go over there and get it. Last but not least, some of you are technologically struggling. Your websites are not up. Your blogs are not up. Your courses, your online courses are not built. Your funnels are not built. Your funnels are not built. Your funnels are not built. You can go over to BlackCEOTechClub.com. Somebody type that in there. BlackCEOTechClub.com. So there's BlackCEOGraphicsClub.com and there's BlackCEOTechClub.com. You need graphics? You go to BlackCEOGraphicsClub.com. You need tech, you funnel help, helping out with your CRM, you go to BlackCEO Tech Club. Paula, make sure you correct that spelling. It's a club with a B, right? Just do that for me. Thank you so much, Paula. Appreciate you. The Shea Butter Queen is in the house. www.blackceotechclub.com. Remember, if you're watching online and you want to be a part of the speed networking with George Fraser, you want to go over to www.blackceoafterdark.com. Those are for people watching on Facebook. Additionally, I got a couple of more smaller things I want to mention. If you are interested in, well, I'll leave that for Spalding going to be in there in the speed networking. Y'all can speak to her about speaking at this year's Black CEO Confidential Conference, Black Woman Confidential. You want to be a part of that? Just send me a notice in Spalding, a note, or anything like that. Last but not least, remember that get your Black CEO membership so you can get access to all of these trainings, the Black CEO Masterclass session. This is a Masterclass session with George Fraser. You got to just go to www.joinblackceo.com BlackCEO.com, www.joinblackceo.com. Yes, I see the note. www.joinblackceo.com. I will mention it. Thank you, Velk, for bringing it to my attention. All right, last but not least, every year we take on 10 brands who want to up level, who want to take it to the next level. They need some help. Obviously, you know, I work with George C. Fraser on the marketing for the Power Networking Conference. I've worked with everybody from Cheryl Woods to Les Brown to Delator McNeil, Andy Henriquez. I've worked with everybody from Lucinda Cross to Allison Bird. That's why many of them have been clients of ours, and we've helped them up level their brand. So maybe you're here and you're saying, hey, I'd like you to manage our brand. We only take on 10. Somebody put in there, we only take on 10. If that's you, you can text me personally. You can text me tonight. Listen, if your first name, last name, email address, you gotta tell me something about your business so I can make sure it's a good fit for me and a good fit for you. But we are taking on 10 people, no more than 10. You can text me personally at 240-731-6646, 240-731-6646, 240-731-6646. That means you might need brand management, a brand overhaul, or you want to learn more about the extreme business makeover. If one of those things are you need brand help, you need a brand manager, somebody to really help take care of all your marketing and your copywriting and your email, and you just need help. All you got to do is just text us, right? We'll get you squared away. You can just text me at 240-731-6646, 240-731-6646. Also, I see somebody said, how much is membership for BlackCEO? That's free. Now, if you decide you want to up level and do other things, that's fine, but it's free. Membership is free because you're a BlackCEO. We want to help you out. That's where you're going to be able to get some free coaching and some other related things. But that being said, if you think brand management is a fit for you, and you just need somebody to really just take over everything, the marketing, the funnel building, the social media, the writing of the emails, all of that kind of good stuff, we get it done for you. You text me at 240-731-6646. Here's what I'll say. The number one problem facing today's black entrepreneur is an addiction to our labor as the primary mechanism by which we generate revenue. The answer to who doesn't always have to be you. If you don't know the how, then all you got to do is know the who. That's it. All right, it's just that simple. All right, so I'm getting ready. When I hit the take a break button, here's what I'm going to ask. Here's my big ask of everybody here. It's going to immediately take you over to the social networking lounge. It's going to immediately, in a few seconds, take you over to the social networking lounge. I'm going to be there. George is going to be there. But let me say something else of who's going to be there. We have people who are shooting Amazon documentaries for black entrepreneurs. They are shooting black documentaries on black entrepreneurs for Netflix documentary. And we have people who are looking to interview candidates for their magazine. So you have you basically have television and movie execs, and you also have magazine execs. They are just looking to interview you without you sort of knowing who they are. So put your game face on, be transparent and be authentic. But I'm going to ask that every person, when you go to the speed networking, meet 7 people. Somebody type in there 7 people. Somebody write in there 7 people. Everybody commit to meet 7 people. Why? Because that could be your next business breakthrough. That could be your next business partner. It's an opportunity to introduce your brand to somebody else. You don't have to have your camera on. It does help if you do, but you don't have to have your camera on. You can just be with your mic, all right? When I hit the button that says speed networking, it's going to take you to the social lounge. What you want to do is you'll look up top to the right-hand side, at the top, near the top on the right-hand side, you're going to see something that says Start Speed Networking. All you got to do is hit that button, and it'll automatically start connecting you to people, and it'll automatically switch you out every few minutes. All I'm asking you to do is commit to meet 7 people. Commit to meet 7 people. Commit to meet 7 people. That being said, I want to thank everybody for attending the BlackCEO conference. I got something special and something big coming for you, so make sure you're checking your emails. Make sure you white labeled it, because you have yet to see what is coming. The BlackCEO Coaching Network is coming, where now you're going to be able to get all your coaches in one spot for one price. You're going to be able to get all the coaches you need for one price at one spot, right, without breaking the bank. So these are some things that's coming in the books, and we're going to take it to the next level. Just Just be on the lookout. Let the speed networking begin. Big shout out to Donna Izar from Unstoppable Black Woman. Y'all gotta follow that brand, Unstoppable Black Woman, on Facebook, and she runs the CEO Prayer Closet on our Clubhouse. And be sure to connect with Khadijah Chapman of the Black Millionaires Matrix. They doing big things out there, and so let the speed networking begin. I'm going to meet y'all there over in the speed networking. Meet your 7 people, then go to the tables. Meet your 7 people, then go to the table. Meet your 7 people, then go to the table. If you're watching online, if you want to be a part of the speed networking, you got to go over to www.blackceoafterdark.com. Let the speed networking begin.